What kind of mom bullies their child? Like, you called your daughter a loser? That's mean. Like, is there any kind of context that would make that okay? That feels really mean. Happy Apple Picking Day! For our weekly reminders, if you want a chance for your story to be featured on Am I the Bad Apple, you can send it to my subreddit, r/AmITheBadApple. And just a reminder, while we're in the comment sections, just be nice to each other, okay? We all come from different branches of the apple tree, meaning we all have different experiences, and just because your experience doesn't line up with someone else's, doesn't mean that you should, be rude to them, you know? Like, the whole point of the series is about, hearing different perspectives and communicating and having actual civil conversations about what those might mean, not just, shutting someone down before having a conversation about it. Sometimes you might learn something new, sometimes I might learn something new, sometimes we might teach someone else something new. No one here is too good or too old to learn a new perspective, you know? So without further ado, let's get started with this week's episode of Am I the Bad Apple? Let's go apple picking! Apple number 1. Am I the bad apple for threatening to kick my daughter-in-law out? My son and his girlfriend have been dating since college. They graduated last year and are now 22 and 23. They used to have an apartment together, but soon found out she was pregnant. I was not happy when they informed me. I knew they couldn't afford it, but they wanted to keep the baby. They also decided to plan a shotgun wedding. Soon after all that, they asked to move into my home because it's large and it's got lots of space, and they wanted to save money for the baby. I made it clear that if they were gonna do that, they would need to do chores and also pay for their own food. They agreed, but gosh, they're so messy. I've talked to both of them before about cleaning up after themselves and helping me around the house, and they keep saying they'll do better, but it just never happens. My son has been traveling for a job, and it's become clear that she's the one being a mess. In short, she's a slob. She leaves dishes out constantly, her stuff is all over my house, the bathroom is disgusting. I've talked to her over and over again, and I've talked to my son so that he can talk to her, but nothing changes. She's now 8 months pregnant, and her excuse is, "Oh, I'm so pregnant, I can't clean, blah, 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 blah." Well, it's not like she's been cleaning since she moved in 6 months ago. Today I came home with groceries and I tripped over her shoes. I had enough. I told her, "You're not giving birth to Jesus or anything. If you don't start pulling your own weight and cleaning, you can get out of my house." She started crying, and now my son is all pissed at me, but I reminded them that I'm doing them a huge favor, and I doubled down about what I said. So, was I the bad apple? Before I give my ruling, I want to be very clear about something. I don't at all, in the slightest bit, think that this mom is the bad apple for expecting them to clean and expecting them to pick up after themselves and expecting them to participate in household chores. I think that's so valid. I think she's spot on. The only slight issue that I have with this is that and people who either are pregnant or have been before, moms, you let me know if I'm wrong about this because I've never known I'm pregnant. At 8 months pregnant, I feel like this lady is, she's got a belly. She's got a person growing in her. So physically, she is going to be limited, right? And so I'm not upset that she's putting her foot down and saying there needs to be cleaning done. I don't know how much she can actually contribute to can she get on her hands and knees and clean the bathroom? Can she get on her can she physically pick stuff up and carry it around? I don't know how limiting that is, and I know that people do it. I know, man, women who have babies are superheroes, man. Seriously. I just don't know what limits are reasonable for someone in that state, because I've never done it. So part of me wants to go crab apple only for the fact that I feel like she is physically limited right now. I don't know what the mom is expecting her to do versus what she physically can do. And I'm really gonna count on all you moms out there to let me know, because I might just be wrong. There might be nothing that she can't do. Let's be realistic for a second. I know that these things still get done when women are pregnant, right? Pregnant women can get it done. But realistically, what's fair to expect is what I'm saying. And I don't know the answer to that question. So for me, I'm gonna err on the side of caution and go Crabapple, not because I think the mom is in the wrong, like, for expecting help, but, like, you're putting your foot down now that she's at 8 months pregnant. Like, it just feels like bad timing to now you want her to help. Like, why didn't you ask a few months ago when she wasn't as physically limited with getting around and, like, picking stuff up and helping to, like, deep clean things? Like, I would have gone completely good apple if you started this months ago. Like, you really needed to start this months ago. Like, because you have my full support in expecting the help and demanding, like, contributions to the household, right? Like, I think you're completely right with that. The only reason that I'm, like, teetering around Crabapple is because it just feels like really bad timing to now be putting your foot down and, like, yes, you deserve the help, but, like, how much realistically can she help? And, like, telling an 8-month pregnant woman, if you don't do X, Y, Z, you're getting kicked. Like, I don't know how limited she is, and I don't know what you're expecting from her. And again, I think all the moms out there can sway me to good apple for sure. Like, for sure. If I'm being overly cautious because I just don't know, I'll own that, and y'all just let me know. But for now, I'm gonna go on the safe side and go Crabapple. Again, not because I think that the mom is wrong, because I wish this was done months ago, and now I'm, like, a little hesitant about what this pregnant woman is physically able to do, and I'm just counting on the moms to let me know if Crabapple is a safe bet, or if I just need to scooch on over to good apple. Like, you guys keep me humble. Apple number 2. Am I the bad apple for embarrassing my parents? I, 24 female, have a dad that we'll call Robert. Let's just say Robert and I have very different views. He's extremely conservative and I am a lesbian. Anyways, I was at a protest recently where I was asked to speak and share my story as a lesbian growing up in the Catholic Church. The speech was mostly about how many Christians preach God's love, but still shoot people down the second they're a little bit different than them, and things like that. And that was just my experience. Apparently, someone filmed it and it kind of went viral. Well, my dad's friend found the video and showed it to him. He was so embarrassed that his own daughter was speaking out against the church. He called me pissed for embarrassing him, and I just told him, oh, well, it's not my fault you're blind to the problems in the world. I didn't think anything of it, and it's not the first time he blew up at me for thinking differently than him. But then my mom called and said that people at the church were talking about not just me, but also my parents. I really feel bad. I mean, I didn't want my parents to be pulled into this, but I need to know. Am I the bad apple? I actually, like, really relate to this. Because there are a lot of things that, like, I will say on my own channels, whether it's about teaching or whether it's about, you know, like, being a woman or anything like that, like, in just, like, some of the things that men will do and say to me in regular life that I'm like, and my parents will say, like, oh, our cousin saw this video and, like, sent it to me. Maybe you should not be so political. Like, I didn't even think any of these things I was saying was political. Or, like, with the bear and the man, the little short video that I did. Some of you guys might know what I'm talking about. You know, family members reached out to my parents and said, hey, maybe Rebecca shouldn't be posting this kind of stuff. And my ideology about it is just kind of, you know, I'm a grown woman. I'm a grown adult with my own home, my own job, my own life. And I'm going to stand up for the things that I believe in. And there's going to be some people out there that agree with me, and there's going to be some people out there that don't agree with me. And some of those people will be people that I know personally, maybe even people that I'm related to. But that doesn't change that if I believe in something, I just got a cramp in my foot. If I believe in something, I believe in it, and I'm going to stand my ground and stand up for what I believe in. I'm going to stand up for teachers being appreciated. I'm going to stand up for women being treated fairly. I'm going to stand against people, a lot of times men, treating women poorly. Like, I'm going to do those things whether it upsets people or not, you know? And even though my goal isn't to put family members or my parents or friends or anyone in the middle of it, I'm not going to let anyone scare me out of being true to myself and true to my beliefs and true to my morals. So I feel like me going anything other than good apple here would just make me a hypocrite. So that is exactly what I'm gonna do. Apple number 3. Am I the bad apple for ruining my wedding? I, 32 female, have a former husband who unfortunately passed from COVID in 2020. In 2022, I met my current boyfriend. I have 3 children from my previous marriage, and they have an amazing relationship with my late husband's parents, so I've kept them in my life, and my boyfriend gets along with them just fine. Well, a couple weeks ago, he proposed to me, and we were working on a draft of a guest list, and I said, hey, I want to invite my late husband's parents. Well, my boyfriend quickly shut that down. He said that it was unnecessary to invite someone not related to us, and that my late husband is gone, and his family shouldn't be in my life, or even my kids' lives anymore. I was really upset and started crying and just left with the kids in a whirl. My boyfriend was so upset about it that he started becoming distant and is now ignoring my calls and staying at a hotel right now until we all get this sorted. All because I wanted him to let my kids, Nana and Pops, come to the wedding. Is this really so insensitive, or is he being ridiculous? Am I the bad apple? I usually make it like a rule to like not straight up say like, hey, you need to leave this person. Hey, run for the hills. And there have been a few times that I have said that in these videos. To be completely honest, we can probably count them on our fingers in the whole 2 years that I've been doing Am I the Bad Apple, the times that I've actually said that. And this is one of those times. This is such a red flag to me. Like, it's not like you got divorced to this guy. It's not like you decided that you didn't love him anymore or that you didn't want to do life with him anymore. Like, he passed, right? So, like, why would you not want his family in your life? Like, I already hear the keyboards. I'm gonna get to the kids in a second. Just hold on. Like, I can't imagine, like, someone that like, if Avery were to pass, right, his family would look to me for comfort, and I would look to him because we would be like pieces of him that each other has. Like, to get so offended and insecure and jealous of like that is such a red flag to me. And for this new boyfriend to like go stay at a hotel over it, like, I don't like that. And that's without even like talking about the kids, right? No matter if the late husband passed, if he got a divorce, if he cheated, if he just ran off, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what happened. His family doesn't just stop being related to your children. They don't just stop being their grandparents. Like, they should be in their lives forever. And for this guy to like take it upon himself to say that they shouldn't, huge red flag. If you were my friend and I was giving you advice, like, I would say absolutely not. Do not walk down that. Like, that is just such a problem. For him to genuinely not want your children who have lost their father to now also lose their grandparents, like the one blood-related piece of their father that they have left. Like, it's not like you were around when their dad was a kid. Like, you want your grandparents to be able to like tell them what their father was like as a child, how it was like raising him. Like, you want them to be able to feed them pieces of their father. And the fact that this dude is so insecure about that is just, it's such a red flag to me. I don't like it. What was the question? Am I the bad apple for ruining my wedding? Because he doesn't want to marry you anymore? Good. Why would you be the bad apple? No. He sucks. Absolutely not. Good apple all the way. Like, at this point, it's not even like oh, well, if he changes his mind, it's all good. Like, no, the fact that he's blowing this so out of proportion is, Like, this shouldn't be a problem. So how is he going to react when there is actually something that could legitimately be a problem? You know what I mean? Like, no. Apple number 4. Am I the bad apple for calling my daughter a loser? My daughters are Kelly, 24, and Sarah, 23. They both had very different high school experiences. Kelly was very social and in numerous sports, and Sarah was very academic and just had a small group of friends. Kelly got a sports scholarship for college, but soon dropped out of college after she failed multiple classes. She basically partied and played her sport, but nothing else. Sarah finished her degree and is doing very well in life. Kelly, though, now has a jealousy issue, and I've tried talking to her about it before, but she's never happy when Sarah has an accomplishment. Today, Sarah told us that she's going on a cruise for her vacation this year, and Kelly has always wanted to go on a cruise, so she was very jealous. Kelly can't afford to go on a cruise with her waitress job, so yet again, this was something her sister was able to create for herself that she is not. In the car on the way home, Kelly blew up, saying that Sarah was a loser in high school, so it's not fair that she has all of this now. She went on and on and on, and I just had enough. I told her that life isn't like high school, Kelly, and that if it was, she would be the loser now. That started an argument, and she called me a... Maybe I shouldn't have called my daughter a loser. Maybe that was a bit harsh, but I don't know how else to get through to her that, like, what she's doing now isn't a good look, and it's no one else's fault but herself. So, was I the bad apple? There are not many exceptions that I would give to, like, name calling your child and, like, making fun of them for, you know, their misfortunes. But I personally would consider this one an exception. Because, like, it's not like you just went up to your kid and you're like, oh, you're such a loser. Like, she's calling her sister a loser for not having friends in high school and being good at school. And, like, I don't know if you guys saw this. There was this TikTok from this girl the other day that was like, did you know all the losers in high school are making all this money now? Blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't understand. And, like, that was a gross TikTok. Like, that was such a gross take. It was so offensive. I hated every second of it. I don't understand why some people still to this day actually think that doing well in school is like lame. Kelly wants to go and afford all these nice things and cruises and blah, 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 blah. Like, money doesn't grow on trees, Kelly. You have to make it. You have to make the money. You have to earn the money. And the way to earn money is to, like, make a living for yourself. And one of the ways to do that is to do well in school. Getting a good job is, like, the number one way. And sometimes that takes grades, and sometimes that takes trades, and whatever kind of schooling or licensing program or whatever, it takes getting a job. And you need to work hard for that. And I will never understand why there are still some kids in school who think that it's lame, setting yourself up for that kind of future. And, like, I'll tell you, I get so frustrated when I hear, like, grown adults that can't talk about anything current. Like, all they want to do is reminisce about the high school days. And I'm like, we're almost 30 years old. I do not care about the sports game that you did when you were 16. I don't like, and I mean that in the nicest possible way. I know that's gonna upset some people's feelings. But, like, the most exciting time of your life should not be when you're 16, 17 years old. I cannot stand when people tell their kids that, like, high school is the best years of your life, or, like, prom's gonna be the best experience. Like, that is concerning. There's no way that should be true. Like, you know what I mean? Getting married, or, like, getting a promotion to the job or the career that you want, or creating a family, like, or, like, buying, like, earning enough to buy the dream car you've always wanted. Like, these should be the moments that you're setting your kids up to strive for, not, like, going to a high school dance, or, like, doing something when they're 16 that in 10 years their body physically can't do again. Like, you should be setting your kids up to, like, strive for things for the future, things that they can continuously build on for the rest of their lives. Like, in what world is it healthy to feel like after you're 18, your life is over because the best is behind you? Like, that's such a weird mentality to have. And, like, I genuinely feel bad for people when we at almost 30 years old are, like, talking about, you know, what we're doing with our jobs and what we want to do for the future, and then someone just starts, like, reminiscing about that old baseball game that they played in 10 years ago. Like, I genuinely feel bad. You know what I mean? And I'm really sorry if that hurts some of your feelings, but that's just an opinion that I have, that the best years of your life should not be when, like, you're still a kid and you haven't even seen the world yet. You know, like, that's just a personal belief that I have. You don't have to agree with me. Long story short, I'm gonna go good apple on this one. For sure. And you might not, there might be some people out there that don't agree with me. I'm sure there's gonna be some people out there who say there's no exception to calling your kid a loser. We just disagree on this one. I think sometimes, and she's not even a kid, she's 24. Sometimes I think people need tough love, and this is one of those times that I agree with the tough love. All right, so I got 3 good apples and 1 crab apple. Remember, moms, you might be able to sway me to all good apples. Well, I'll be checking the comments. Did you get anything similar to me? Did you get something completely different? I love to hear your opinions down in the comments. And just a reminder that if you want your story to be featured on Am I the Bad Apple, you can send it to my subreddit, r/AmITheBadApple. And for your well wishes today, it is both strawberry parfait day, like those little yogurt things, I love those. And it's also National Catfish Day. So whether you just love fish, or you love yogurt, or you like to go fishing, today's your day. Let me know which one you'd prefer down in the comments. I do like fried catfish. That stuff is good, but I've been staying, like, not eating fried foods, but trying to eat healthier. So I think this time for me, I'm going strawberry parfait for sure. I do love those. They're very good. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you have a great rest of your day and hope to see you all next week. Bye, my lovelies. Mwah.